Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that? A little bit. I mean, there's music, right? But so it's a little hard. I've got you. I think I've got the volume right up. Okay, that was better already at the end there. Oh yeah, that's good. Just make sure you talk right into the mic.
Back inside the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena, we want to apologize for some of our streaming issues here this evening, video and audio. I trust you can all hear me now out there in lacrosse land, and that gives us a chance to look at this one more time. Oh my goodness, Shane Scott, his 5th goal of the game, already had one shorthanded, an even strength hat trick. And that beauty made it 9-6, 9-5 at the time. It is now 9-8. We're about 6 minutes away from the second half. But right now, Steven Stamp is on the bench with head coach Brad MacArthur.
KBI camera?
Yeah. All right, welcome back, folks. I'm here with Brad MacArthur, the head coach of the Barrie Blizzard. Do you have your ring on? They probably can't see it, but this is a beauty, I'll tell you. And you guys are coming back, defending champions. I thought you came out working really hard off the top of the game, and then it seemed like you're scrambling a bit, getting a little behind your assignments defensively, and it kind of carried over, and then you turned it around, and it's really going back and forth.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're a good team. It was bound to happen. We went on our run. They went on theirs. I concur. I mean, we were pretty scrambly for a bit. We've got some new faces in the lineup. We've got some guys sitting out that normally would probably be playing, and we got to give everybody a chance. We got 2 extra games this year to kind of give everybody a chance. I thought Rance played really well and kept us in it, and at the end of the day, it's kind of an evaluation. So
you've got, obviously, everyone's asking, where's Caleb Wiles, where's Angus Tinley? A couple of pretty big names missing. Caleb just out for the night. Angus, we're not sure about.
Well, either way, it's irrelevant. We're down, or we're up by a goal in 6 Nations. I got to worry about the 23 guys we have right now. So. Again, Rance is playing really well, and that's what we're going forward with. Neil gets his shot next week, and we'll see what happens.
Great point. So second half, you come out, you've got a 1-goal lead, pretty much starting fresh. Just the way you want to play the way you did early, where you were just working really well as a group?
Yeah, I think we got to straighten up our game on defense. We were scrambly. We were running around, missing assignments. We were getting boxed out, and I think overall they just outworked us. It wasn't a great quarter for us, but at the same time, we won the first half, and they don't give points for first half wins. So
that'll do it. We're going to be back in a few minutes. Thanks to Brad MacArthur, and make sure you come back and join us for the second half of a great rematch of the Creators Cup in the 2016 C-Lax opener.
Back inside the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena, the home team down by 1, despite their best efforts in the dying seconds of that opening half, including that beauty from Randy Martin. His only goal of the game made it 9-8. A spectacular goal from Shane Scott, and then that one, as we said, from Randy Martin as well. Matthew Carrick, Steven Stamp, one more time upstairs in our booth. And great conversation you had with Brad MacArthur. I don't think the fans at home heard that, so can you summarize quickly?
Yeah, basically he was saying he agreed with what I was suggesting, that they came out working pretty hard, but then got very scrambly on defense. We're chasing guys around, missing assignments. Let us know who you think should be the 3 stars, but he was really emphasizing that they just got outworked. And they need to turn things around and get back to the kind of effort that led to them winning the championship last year. But he was very pleased with the play of Rance Vigna so far, and really stressed that he's going to focus on the guys who are here right now and not the guys who aren't. When I asked him about the likes of Caleb Wiles and Angus Dineley not being around, and he made it pretty clear, we've got 23 guys here we can believe in, and we're going to see what they can do.
And then you guys did an epic dance. Sorry you missed it, folks.
That was epic.
Mike Atwood takes Teeter hard into the boards as we are underway here, quarter number 3 on the opening weekend of the 2016 season of the Canadian Lacrosse League. Ball to the far side, quick shot there from Ashton Jacobs. I looked down to get the number, didn't see what happens, but the roar tells you the end result. It's tied up.
Well, yet another goal coming from a bounce off the boards, comes straight out to Ian Martin off the shot by Joe Miracle. And Miracle just lets it fly on the far side, comes off the boards, and that's a tough break for a goaltender. It's so hard when you have to try and see what's happening behind your net, and then something happens in front of it, such as a player bouncing right to a player.
So many of these young players, or these players in general, whether they're young or not so young, senior age players, have played in this building. They're very familiar with shooting on that net.
Yeah.
And even some guys in warm-up were banking it wide. It looked like on purpose, but we've got another beauty. That's as long as the tie game lasts.
Yeah.
Right there, thanks to Mike Maudsley. First of the night, 4th point.
A little bit under a minute of a tie game, as you mentioned, and Michael Teeter with another great pass to get this assist. And you're going to see Teeter will just back into his position. Again, carrying that ball pretty low, about hip high, but you can see how quick his hands are. And again, it's not something we would necessarily advocate to young players to carry the ball down there around hip high as much as Teeter does, but boy, he's effective with it.
Number 6 has 6 points. 5 of those are assists as Ashton Jacobs comes away with the loose ball, and that's brought the crowd alive as well as the Ohsweken bench. This is Ashton Jacobs off the wall, back for Dallas John. Quick ball movement here coming from the Demons. Joe Miracle, he takes a shot. That's off the stick of Rob Koger, so he has to chase again in behind the Barrie net. Joe Miracle can't pick up before the 30-second shot clock. And it'll be brought out by Graham Bergsma. So far, pretty much a solely defensive role for Bergsma in his return, as Teeter, weak shot attempt there, was stripped from behind by Joe Miracle, and Montour trying the one-hand pickup as he came through center. Got it to Dallas John, who's then filled in by Tyler Roche at the crease. Back up for Elijah Printup, though. Tompkinson slides over, fills that hole. Here's Montour taking the shot. Vigneault another save. As it bounces off the boards, back for Tompkinson. 4-on-1. If they come out the door, they do not. Tompkinson, the shot off the post. Spinorama from Lazor. And the ball stays out. Again, Jake Lazor, if you joined us late or did not hear us, or we understand we've been having a whole ton of issues, which we apologize for, replaced Chase Martin in that second quarter. Here's Harris tiptoeing away from the crease. Joel Furman shakes his head no, he was not in. As the ball comes for Ty Thompson, bats off a number of things in front of the crease, the last of which is the head of the stick of Spencer Janes before Rance Vigneault could corral it. Then his pass to Janes hooks, and it's going to end up in the stick of Ty Thompson, who corrals it and is now going to slow things down to let the change happen. Ian Martin from right in front of us to the far side. Torrey Van Every, he tried the shovel pass. That bounced past 3 Demon players before Ian Martin sends it to the crease. And Spencer Janes is there with, well, Jay Priest listed as retired, but today getting traded to the Niagara Lock Monsters, still on their holdout list. Spencer Janes now by default the best beard in C-Lax.
There you go.
I think he was robbed of that title last year when Jay Priest shaved. But it is what it is. Elijah Printup from the outside. His sidearm shot, and Vigneault ducks out of the way as that goes off the glass. Shot clock down to 6. Randy Martin up top, spins once, twice. Now looking for 3 times. Got halfway before just dumping it into the corner. Great defensive set from Ross Smith.
Yeah, that's Ross Smith to a T. Such a hard worker. He's a real heart and soul guy for this Barrie Blizzard team. And wow.
Mike Maudsley, I'm not sure if he slipped or if Corey Thompson had more to do with that.
I was just looking up the floor, waiting for the ball to come out of the stick of Maudsley up to the rest of the team.
Oh, it came out all right.
Yeah.
Straight to Corey Thompson. Here's the look.
You can hear on that one how hard this kid shoots the ball.
Goes right to Shane Scott, though. Get the socks ready. Here he is. The sidearm shot got hit as he fell and into the logo of Lazor.
Scott switching hands to corral that ball and then go back over to his correct shooting hand.
Elijah Printup. Back for Corey Thompson. Thompson to the far side. Joe Miracle. Miracle over the top. He gets away from Ross Smith. Smith back on him. They dive for it, and Vigneault wasn't sure where it was, and now it rolls back in. Shovel shot attempt for Kenny Aaron, who was all over the crease on that set. And great set again for Ross Smith. Got a little lucky, did Rance Vigneault, though. This shot, Lazor getting lucky now. I think that's a pretty clear crease violation on Teeter that goes uncalled as Josh Becker gets it back the other way for the Demons. We remain in the same floor arrangement that we ended period number 2. We'll switch back for period number 4 as Josh Becker comes in on Vigneault, rings it off the pipe, has to wait for it to clear the crease. Doesn't actually, as he can reach in there. Here's Harris. Harris bouncing to the far side. The fans starting to get their applause on here as an extended offensive possession. This eludes Becker, but Kyle Jamieson will get there. Hard on him is Maudsley, and a couple extra whacks, and it'll be too many men. Our first such call here in this season, and that took a long time compared to what we've seen in previous years.
Yeah.
We're getting the weather report from our director, Alex Frazow. We've got some rain and maybe some snow. We experienced a little bit of this earlier on this year in this building, and unfortunately that plays havoc on our internet connections. So we do apologize again for the intermittent signal, I guess, here in the building tonight. 8.5 left in the corner as Lazor went to his left, couldn't corral that, as here's Mike Atwood. Atwood lifting it up, and that's going to be almost intercepted by Shane Scott as he came back to play on Tom Montour, all one-handed as he goes to Levick. Passing to the crease. Here's Maudsley now as he goes in on Lazor, and Lazor able to make the save as we hit 8 minutes to go here in quarter number 3.
We'll be ready for our officials' timeout at the next stoppage and play. That was almost a goal by Tom Montour. Rance Vigneault with the shrug to knock that one aside.
Here's Roach at the restraining line. Knotted at 10s. Still with that too many men penalty against the Demons. There's less than a minute on it now, as there's about 55 seconds. Shane Scott flips to Teeter. Scott up top. You watch what these two are doing, Shane Scott and Mike Teeter, and you wonder how Caleb Wiles is going to fit in, as he had to return to the lineup again last year. Remember, started the season with the Vancouver Stealth of the NLL.
Yeah, but he fit in quite nicely when he came back and actually made Teeter all the more effective. So I don't think they're going to mind.
Oh, my goodness. 6 points already tonight, and he can be more effective. Get ready, C-Lax. Here comes number 6.
Well, the thing is, Teeter started scoring more goals, I think, when Wiles came back. That passed too far for Randy Martin. He'll have to track it down beyond the goal line.
And how about Johnny Ray? That's a 200-foot sprint to get into the corner to play on Randy Martin. Martin turns the corner on him, though, dives from the Josh Becker spot, and Vigneault still standing tall crease as Martin was still sitting there. And then Martin drops Johnny Ray as we're all even.
That's a nice pass from Mike Maudsley using the floor. Always a smart idea when it's available and nothing else is. And he sends a 3-hopper over to Teeter.
In officials' timeout territory now with 6.5 to play. Still knotted at 10s. Remember, these two teams took it to overtime for all the marbles last year. Here's Caravello. That one hooks a little bit for Mike Gillen, and that will be the officials' timeout. We'll take a breather as well. Tied at 10, back half of the third quarter on opening week of C-Lax 2016 from the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. Six minutes, 14 seconds remains on the clock. Tyler Roach, one of our profile players, drafted by the Toronto Rock in the 6th round, played for Ireland at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championship, and of course Peterborough Lakers star. Pretty good highlight there was the Indoor Lacrosse Championship where he played for Ireland.
Yeah, he was very good. Played a solid defensive role and spent time up ahead, and there he is on the bench. You know, you can see the Ireland gloves right there on there. Not really going with the purple and white and black of the Barrie Blizzard, but he's pretty proud of those gloves, and what a performance he had at that tournament, playing on offense, playing on the power play even, and looking right at home.
And in speaking with Jeff Dowling, when he played in the prospect game as part of ANLL draft camp, I asked him for some information. He said he came to Ireland as a defensive player and just stepped up in a rush one time, scored, and never stopped. Ended up with, I believe, 13 in the tournament through about 6 or 7 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he played about 7 or 8. And the thing is, he headed from the Worlds straight to the prospects camp for the NLL. I don't think it helped him. And there's a nice hard shot by Teeter, but it doesn't connect. But, he was a tired camper when he got to that prospects game.
Caravello held up just enough. He's going to lay the lumber there on Tom Montour.
And take a penalty doing it.
Yeah. He was called for the over and back, and you can see him hold up. Again, we mentioned this early on. 20 minutes left to play here. 5 in this quarter, 15 in number 4. These are the two, we call them quick change quarters, the transition quarters. A lot of running for half an hour. And I think maybe Caravello's starting to gas a little bit as he showed it a tad there. But
yeah, I mean, Mouse.
What's happening here? Caravello leaves the box as Ross Smith goes off.
Looks like he's heading down.
I thought he was going to the room. That was definitely.
I thought he was too.
It must have been an off-ball slash against Ross Smith because Tom Montour definitely had the ball in his stick. I was wondering when the arm went up, but it's a power play here for the Ohsweken Demons with 5 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. Up top for Miracle, his shot. Vigneault sends that one away. Fresh shot clock, though, as Miracle corrals it. Johnny Ray right on him. Torrey Van Every waiting to help out as Ray will whack at anything that moves, and turned around and saw the leg of Torrey Van Every and held up rather smartly. I don't think Van Every would have appreciated that much. And if Torrey Van Every doesn't appreciate something, he usually lets you know about it.
Well, and Johnny Ray caused 3 loose balls there, but he was all alone in the corner with 3 demons.
But look at his reaction now. Stick on the knees, bending over. He's gasping for air, a long way from home. And Von Harris, they take it away from Ray, go after Rob Koger, though, and it ends up in the back of the net. How about 4 now for Von Harris?
Yeah, just a really nice shot by Von Harris to a bit of a twister. Kind of changes up the angle a little bit, and they're trying to throw some different things now at Rance Vigna, and it is working. As you're going to see, there's Joe Miracle. Just a nice little lob down, 23. Gets it back on the give and go, and then we'll pass it over. And he goes give and go with Miracle, and Harris just lets that one fly. Mouse Henry talked in the halftime about how their conditioning, they've worked really hard to be a fit team and try and push the pace on teams, and that may be coming to the fore here as we get later into the game.
It was a power play marker, just the second special teams goal scored in this game. We said the shorthanded one from Shane Scott as well, and one on the delayed penalty, 6 attackers for Brad Levick early on. So 3 if you count that one. Dallas John to the far side now. Carter Ashton, first lead of the game for the Ohsweken Demons. They've been playing catch-up since the early 2-0 outburst, I guess, or initial rush for the Blizzard. Josh Becker out of the corner. He initially shot that off the back of Cody McLeod, and he's laboring a bit. Now he can head off for the change as the shot clock goes as Vigneault covers up.
One other thing that Brad MacArthur did say at halftime, and when I talked to him, was, they don't give any points out for winning the first half. He said, we're glad that we're ahead going in, but we got to come out and really clean some things up. And a little bit better defensively so far, but Ohsweken's still finding a few holes.
Yeah, that sounds like a Brad MacArthur soundbite.
Yes.
He's pretty good for some of those clips. Here's Teeter over to the far side. Here's Bergsman, his first real offensive chance, and they call him for running through the crease.
Bergsman's starting to look like he's finding his game a little bit. Really wasn't the Graham Bergsman we know from his early days with the Durham Turf Dogs. And he's starting to look more like himself as he gets back into this indoor game.
Here's Corey Thompson. He finds Ian Martin off the bench, and he's just going to let one rip. That one eludes Rance Vigneault and just barely squeaks by Brent McCauley as well as he signals the over and back. And it'll end up deep in the Demon zone.
Barrie setting up on the offense. There's 2:43 to go here in the third, and Barrie has really not looked particularly dangerous in the offensive zone this quarter. They're going to see if they can get a solid set this time.
Here's Dustin Caravello, works out of the corner. Mike Gillen back for Teeter. Look at the ball movement here. They were looking for Caravello, the cutter, and now Caravello back for defense. A lot of hustle there from Caravello on that set. He must have heard us talking about his conditioning. Here's Martin, can't get a shot away as it was stolen by Gillen, and now he ends up with the rebound. Koger, a rare floor sprint for Rob Koger as he comes away with the ball.
Koger has shown, though, he's another guy known for his defense, but he has shown that he can play a bit up in the offensive end.
He was, when he was with the Durham Turf Dogs under Jason Crosby, pretty much that one-dimensional defensive player, but since coming here to Barrie, Tom Montour eventually corrals that. Took a little bit, but no extra time needed to turn and fire. Off Rance Vigneault gets an extra 30 as Von Harris gets to Elijah Printup off the bench. McLeod gets picked out of the way. Tompkinson takes over as the pass from Harris goes into the corner. Brought out by Ty Thompson. Thompson looking for help. He's just going to shovel it back up top. Assistant captain A being worn by Kyle Jamieson this year. Again, in the absence of Roger Weiss, Wayne Van Every, and former captain, longtime captain Travis Hill. Three President's Cup champions from earlier this season. Mike Atwood.
Speaking of guys known for defense, but who have some offensive chops.
How about former goaltender of the year,
Yes.
Mike Atwood? Randy Martin.
They're going to call Caravello for back in, but Vigneault just missed that one, and Randy Martin
Yeah.
almost got the easiest goal of his career.
And Spencer Janes almost made him pay for it. Did give him a bump, but not as hard as it could have been. Ian Martin over the top, 36 on the clock, as Van Every being chased down by Ross Smith after this loose ball. And typical number 8 right here, as now Johnny Ray comes in and takes down the pile. Josh Becker to help out, as is Randy Martin. Dives in, crease violation, throw the flag. Torrey Van Every thought he was going to go for dumping Caravello from behind, and now we can see Caravello gets up. Not slowly as if injured, but slowly as in making sure he's got enough wind to pick himself off the carpet. Gillen with 6 on the clock. He's going to go to the cage and score.
We've been speaking about guys who had some experience at the World Championships. Tyler Roach among them, and Josh Becker for the Iroquois Nationals. Michael Gillen played a big role for Team England at that tournament. A two-way threat, a little banged up towards the end of the tournament, but you're going to see what he can do. First of all, let's take a look. Oh, he was on the crease.
Oh, great call. Great call.
Yeah.
Look at the positioning in the eyes of Brent McCauley.
Yeah. And here comes Gillen battling through the check from Tom Montour. Von Harris maybe a step slow getting to him, and Atwood's not going to get a chance as the third quarter will expire, as it should be, a tie going into the fourth quarter between two teams that always seem to play tight.
They've had their battles through the years. It culminated last year with the Creators Cup Championship going to overtime. As you said, knotted at 11, switching sides one more time, 15 more on the clock to decide the first match of the 2016 C-Lax season. An interesting timeout here. We get a good look at Graham Bergsma. The Barrie Blizzard kind of spread out. A lot of guys just getting water and kind of relaxing, a few mini conversations. But one massive demon huddle over on the home side bench as they get their final instructions for the final 15 minutes. Graham Bergsma returns to C-Lax after a 2-year absence.
Yeah, and Graham Bergsma, great two-way player. As we mentioned, it's been a couple of years since he played in the league, and really had a fairly tough go of it, I thought, in the first half in terms of how he was feeling out there on the floor. Just didn't look too comfortable, but he is another guy who has the face-off stick and the playing stick, and he's going to get the ball after Harris jumped a little bit early.
And Von Harris, you can hear the bench screaming, call it. They wanted the delay of game against Von Harris. for sitting there and holding on to that. As here comes Mike Teeter. Well, the dive through there. How many guys are in the crease right now? Mike Maudsley, one of them, as he continues the shove. I think there was 5 different players, 3 for Barrie and 2 for Ohsweken, and none of those were Jake Lazor. As here's Torrey Van Every back the other way. He goes for Corey Thompson. Thompson to the wall. Walking away from the boards and taking the shot is Vaughn Harris. Down low for Rance Vigneault. Reminder to tweet us your 3-star selections either at JVI Video.
We made the save on Dallas John.
It's going to be picked up by, Tompkinson, who gives for Jason Crawford. Bounce pass over for Dustin Caravello. Far side now. We heard Gillen call for it. Streaking off the bench is Ross Smith. He gives it straight back to Gillen, who takes on the duo of Dallas John and Tom Montour, then gives back up to the top and a huge shot that Lazor saves.
Yeah, and Lazor saw that all the way off the stick of Michael Teeter. Didn't have a lot of trouble with it.
And a save the other way for Rance Vigneault as he drops to one knee. Comes back for Brad Levick. 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Dustin Caravello down into the corner for Brad Levick. We welcome you back one more time. Visit CanadianLacrosse.com, hit multimedia, and view the repeats. Later on in the week, Brad Levick dives through, throw the flag there. Pretty sure that foot was on the line, but
it didn't go in anyway.
No harm, no foul, as here's Vaughn Harris. Again, CanadianLacrosse.com, hit multimedia, watch the repeat, and you'll see this game when it's loaded back in its entirety. Shot comes from Randy Martin, and what a game it has been to this point. We've still got 12 at least left in regulation. Here's Rob Koger. Ty Thompson picks that one up. Here's Ian Martin. And Ashton Jacobs comes over the restraining line. He's going to pick this one up. Dallas John through the middle to the crease. Montour and Vigneault saves that one. Jeff Griffiths can't pick up. And you want to talk about a guy who plays on either end of the floor as Montour gets into his man. What's the call here? I think they just wanted to make sure the ball stayed back at center. As here comes Tompkinson. A look at the Levick diving no goal. Foot was on the line, but it didn't count anyways, so we go back to live action in the corner. Dustin Caravello, 11:20 to play. Caravello hits the post, I believe, was the sound, as Jamison and Teeter, a pair at C-Lax League. Make sure you use the hashtag 3stars. As here's Shane Scott, probably on that list somewhere.
I would think with 5 goals, and
number 6 collide in the corner. And it's going to be Kyle Jamison getting the better of that exchange.
Jamison, nice little shovel pass over to Marty Hill, and we've got a bit of a break for the Demons. Torrey Van Every almost snuck that one between the legs of Rance Vigneault. Now the Barrie Blizzard going the other way. Again, the action fast and furious. Bergsma going to the net. He's stripped by Becker, but a penalty coming to Becker on the wraparound. Maudsley picks it up out front, though, and the Blizzard have 12 seconds to take advantage of an extra man if they can get him out there. Brad Levick will move the ball across to the top, and Mike Teeter is going to try and find something. He's only got 3 seconds to get a shot off. He'll give it to Caravello, who fires it. That was pretty nice timing by Teeter, being aware of how long he had to make that pass and still leave Caravello a couple of seconds to get the shot off, but Lazor swallowed it up. We're tied at 11, but Barrie will go to the man advantage with 10.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Tommy Montour grabbing.
He's got Bergsma by the face mask. He's welcoming him back to the league. And this has happened on a change, so there's a lot of players on the floor. We saw this a couple years ago at the Barrie Molson Center after a goal on a change. That day it was, I believe, Tompkinson who went after Chris Atwood after a goal. Started all kinds of problems.
Tyler Roach has gone to the box for the Blizzard, and Tom Montour, fairly obviously, going to the box after the tugging on the face mask.
And Lazor's gone to get some tape here at the bench. So Tyler Roach for Tom Montour. I think Barrie will take that trade.
I think they were looking for just Montour going.
Yeah.
That's what they really wanted. But we'll see.
No Chris Atwood in the lineup here tonight, but him and his brother have been stalwarts for both the Ohsweken Demons and the Iroquois Ironmen ever since year one in C-Lax. And Mike named MVP, and Chris was named MOP, and then championship game MVP.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, Mike Atwood, I said a reluctant goalie of the year because he was playing defense, wanted to keep playing defense. They really needed him to go into the net, and they put him in, and he was excellent.
Clint Jones, the first ever draft pick in the Canadian Lacrosse League. I believe his save percentage was 63-something at the time they made the switch, and it turned out pretty good for them. They've made an all-native final game for the Creators Cup, the only win for the Ohsweken Demons in what is now 4 tries at the Creators Cup. But of course, the next year, Iroquois Ironmen won the championship with Mouse Henry at the helm.
Well, that was incredible because they only had 2 wins in the regular season going into the final couple of weeks, and got their roster kind of sorted out and got things coming together.
One of those wins was an overtime one against the Brampton Inferno to put them in the playoffs.
Yeah. So they, it was a remarkable run through that playoff season. A very strange group of playoff games, but boy, it was exciting.
3 overtime games in 2 days, I think we had here for Final Four weekend. Oh my goodness. Shane Scott brings it in. Mike Maudsley trips as he comes onto the floor. Now he's going to make his way into the play. And with 2 Demons in the box, we'll remind you we're in penalty shot territory if you're new to C-Lax. Penalties don't stack. If the Demons get one more here, we'll see a penalty shot for Barrie. Oh, it won't matter, though, as the power play call for Shane Scott. Get the socks out, ladies and gentlemen. That's 6.
Wow, he's such a great shooter. Every one of those shots from outside have been the sidearm, the low sidearm, just a little bit above the floor. And that's a smart shot by Mike Teeter right there. You think he didn't have much to shoot at. The shot clock was about to run out, so they got a reset thanks to the shot by Teeter that he pretty much bounced off of Jake Lazor right back out. And Mike Maudsley, I think it was, made the pass. And tonight, that's another play passing to Shane Scott.
Here's Mike Atwood. He crouches in against Gillen, and it's going to be Atwood again winning it so clean it bounces away from everybody. Vaughn Harris has to chase. So Roach and Montour stay in the box for another 20 seconds here as we're 8:47 to play in quarter number 4. 12-11. The score in favor now of Barrie as Torrey Van Everett rings it off the pipe. Back to Ty Thompson as they regain the rebound. Vaughn Harris. Can hear a number of voices yelling, "Be settled." Not sure if it's for the Demon defense or the Barrie offense. Tyler Roach disagreeing with that over and back call. He thought he was close enough to pick it up and go for a run.
Well, he was at first, but then he took a couple of steps to get turned around. He and the Demons player coming out of the penalty box, and Roach just took one step too many before he realized that spinning could get him a breakaway.
Here's Caravello, the rip and the hat trick. Took a while. May have caught a piece of the stick of Montour on the way by, but 13-11. We've been within one, and we've been tied for a while, but now
22-16.
Barrie stretches it to 2.
Caravello with 3 goals and 3 assists now. And this is a nice little last-second pass from the assistant captain, Jeff Griffiths. The veteran just flings it horizontally across. And Caravello, we mentioned earlier, he's been a good player for a long time, but he has added some zip to that shot, and he just rams it past Jake Lazor to make the margin 2 goals. We are into referee's timeout territory as we near the midway point of this 4th quarter. And Mouse Henry is going to take that break to try and get his team going, but it's a turnover first.
Atwood tried to one-hand it over to Ashton Jacobs while it was in the back of that face-off twig, and it hooked a little bit.
And Bergsma tried a one-hander over to Jason Crawford, and that one didn't work out either.
So after all of that, as we hit the halfway mark of quarter number 4, it is Demon possession, and Becker scores. 7:28 to go. And we're back to a 1-goal lead, and that should be the officials' timeout. We'll see.
Josh Becker with the Cody Jamieson-esque step across the top onto your offside and uses a whole bunch of players who are in the way as a screen.
4:42.9.
A little slip, but recovering. There's Becker. You can see he steps around the check from Bergsma. And, it's a nice little play by Josh Becker. That's also a play that 3 years ago, Graham Bergsma probably doesn't let him get away. He's still, as you can see, adjusting to his footwork and getting back into this indoor game. And it cost them a goal. And almost another one there as Vaughn Harris lets it fly.
Oh, big time hit there from Randy Martin. He stops, I believe, Johnny Ray in his tracks as Shane Scott has it again. You can almost see the flames coming off that stick for how hot he's been tonight. Off the bench is Griffiths. When he played for the Toronto Shooting Stars, Griffiths was a big-time offensive stud. Here's Marty Hill. Griffiths running back into it. He takes a massive whack from Tom Montour, and everyone on the Barrie bench wondered where that call was. Thought there was supposed to be no off-ball slashing. Here's Ty Thompson. Big pick there. Got Tompkinson out of the way from Marty Hill. Shane Scott. Oh, another beautiful defensive play from Shane Scott. All around C-Lax player here. And Shane Scott crumples on that Barrie bench.
He's up now. And
trainers are right there, and he's shook both of them off. So
he's coming back out.
Torrey Van Every steals that one from Spencer James. Oh, Ty Thompson, the shot. Vigneault makes another save. He's been pretty good tonight despite giving up the 12 goals for Rance Vigneault.
Oh, he made some great saves early on, and he's made the critical saves here in the second half where, the ones you just need to have right at that moment.
Torrey Van Every in the box here for the Ohsweken Demons as he picks up the interference call. And it comes with 5:20 left to go. Barrie lead by 1. The newly named captain of the Ohsweken Demons, reigning transition player of the year and candidate every time he steps on the floor. You can see the other rings that he's got, including a President's Cup this year and back-to-back Man Cups with the Six Nation Chiefs. The Demons definitely happy to have him back in the fold, considering the rest of the guys, they don't. Here's Levick spinning away. Caravello the shot. That one bounces off the foot of Lazor. And this one up over top. Caravello, does he have the speed to match Kenny Aaron? Aaron straight to the net and straight through Vigneault. And Vigneault gets up and has a stare down. And Kenny Aaron gets up real hobbled here.
Yeah, he's limping.
As so does Caravello. As Caravello had the stare down for Aaron. And I think everyone kind of realized that Caravello gave Kenny Aaron some help there.
And, pretty smart by Vigneault and Dustin Caravello to recognize there's less than 5 minutes to go in this game. And they're leading by 1 and on a power play. Not the time you need to.
And Kyle Jamison's going to direct traffic, looking for our spotlight player of Tom Montour. It's Brad Levick, though, that bats it away.
I'll tell you, when Jamieson made that play down to the smart play in the defensive zone, I think Shane Scott forgot that you can reach in and grab the ball.
Yeah.
And he could have had a great scoring chance. He just kind of stood there thinking it was the goalie's possession.
Here's Caravello bouncing to the far side. Here's Teeter and Tyler Roach. The shot gets through everybody and pick up that ball, as that should be Tyler Roach. First goal with his family in attendance, and Teeter will pick up another one and give him 7 points.
Whew, I don't envy the people who have to pick the 3 stars.
Isn't that you and me?
It is.
Oh.
Here comes Ken Aaron going to the net. Caravello does give him a little push, and you can see Aaron was trying to avoid Rance Vigneault on that replay. You really see it.
Well, Vigneault's going cross crease too, so he kind of walks into the hit a little bit. But there's the eventual goal, and as Tompkinson straight to this loose ball, stripped by Montour. Still on the Demons clock, though, I believe, as now it will be reset as Tompkinson regains. Gets around Ty Thompson. Can he get a shot? As there's still 2 minutes in regulation time. This shot off the pad of Vigneault, off the glass, and straight back to Corey Thompson. And Crawford, seeing if there's any magic left from last year. It's a sidearm shot into the logo of Lazor. And as the Demons...
Mouse Henry down there talking to the guys. You can see he's got Marty Hill, Joe Miracle, Ian Martin. Trying to see who the other Demons out in that circle are. There are actually 7 of them listening to him.
Tory
Van Every's going to stay.
No,
he's going.
Nope,
They've got 7 guys.
They're going to send 7.
Wow. Let's see if anybody notices.
It's going to be Von Harris on the ball, and now Dallas John figures it out. Tory Van Every, Marty Hill, Ty Thompson down in the corner. I believe that's Joe Miracle.
Yep.
And on the far side, the ball carrier now is the only one that we can't pick up.
That's Ian Martin.
Okay, there we go. Mystery solved. Joe Miracle skips one off. Oh, they're going to say that hit Vigneault and give it to the Demons.
It did.
16.5. They need a quick shot here. Ty Thompson takes it and hits Vigneault high back down on the carpet. And guess who? Ross Smith on the loose ball. Oh, quickly calls timeout before he gets taken out of the play. What a play by Ross Smith.
Yeah, it's such a smart veteran, and boy, Ohsweken took their chances. They were letting it fly, and they were just fairly simple overhand outside shots, but they were both pretty dangerous, and Vigneault had to make 2 really nice saves. He's given up 12 goals, as you mentioned, but it could easily be in the neighborhood of 20 with the number of posts and the number of, he had that little stretch where he got a little shaken, I think, in the second after he made the 1 goal, the mistake where he lifted his stick coming across and seemed to get a little rattled. He has come back very intelligently, and think of some of those saves he made in the first 2/3 of the first half of the game where he was really a difference maker.
Really was, and I think a lot of people when they saw rosters come out this week looked at that and went, oh dear, Barrie's got no chance, and they had memories of a couple years ago, but Rance Vigneault, I think, has, he has put up 12 goals, but silenced a few of those critics, I think. You're going to let goals in against this roster.
Yeah, and in this league, the nature of...
Hits the boards, it bounces straight to Ashton Jacobs and the Barrie Blizzard. Another close one between these 2 clubs. Whoever put the schedule together definitely knew what they were doing. As your final score, 14-12. As we look at our 3-star selections as chosen by yours truly, Matthew Carrick, Steven Stamp, Von Harris. A fantastic start to the game, as we've mentioned throughout the broadcast, stepping in place of Travis Hill as the backup face-off man to Mike Atwood. A strong game from him. 4 goals, including 1 on the power play. Second star of the game, we debated this one a little bit. Could have put Dustin Caravello in with the hat trick and the assist. We go to Mike Teeter with 7 points, a goal, and 6 assists. And as Steven Stamp said, if Caleb Wiles gets to come back, may make Teeter a better player. Look out, C-Lax. Here he comes. And how about this guy, our first star of the game? Look out, C-Lax. Here he comes, Shane Scott. It's count them up, 6 goals, shorthanded marker, a power play marker when they were 4-on-3, and just a fantastic dandy back the other way. And I think that's who Steven Stamp has corralled down in front of the Barrie bench. We'll go to him now, Shane Scott and Steven Stamp.
And Michael Gillen as well here, and you're looking pretty healthy after being banged up at the Worlds, and a big win for you guys.
Oh, you know, appearance is everything, right? My ankle's still a little bit rough, but tape it up, good to go. First game of the season, no way I was going to miss it.
A big win for you guys. Shane Scott, you hit a 3 from outside, 2 running in on your offside and tucking them in, and the one beauty where you just reached back. How did you even catch that ball in all that traffic, let alone make the goal?
Johnny Ray always throws those terrible passes, so I think I was ready for it on that one. No, I had an eye for the net tonight, and I took advantage, luckily.
Now, you guys, you're the defending champions. You've all done a lot of great work last year. You came out working really hard tonight, and then kind of got away from the Blizzard game. What was it at halftime that turned things back around?
Well, you know what? It's a bit of a rough training camp for us. You know, we got snow days, everything like that. It comes down to what you do at home.
Saves that Rance Vigna made.
Yeah, Rance really came out here, and I think he had something to prove filling in for Angus, because I mean that guy was lights out for us last year. A big reason why we won. So no, it was a new experience, but
a team that works together. Our thanks to them, and I'm going to throw it back up to Matthew Carrick upstairs from the floor. I'm Steven Stamp.
Our thanks to Steven and Mike Gillen, Shane Scott. Once again, your final score, 14-12. In favor of the Barrie Blizzard over the Ohsweken Demons. Tomorrow afternoon from the General Motors Center, the Durham Turf Dogs get their season started as they face the Niagara Lock Monsters. Steven Stamp flies solo on that one as we come your way live at 2 p.m. and then 7:30 as we double dip on Saturday out in Paris, the Southwest Cyclops, their home opener as we continue weekend number 1 of the 2016 season of the Canadian Lacrosse League. Our producer tonight has been Gary Morrison, our director, Alex Frazow. On behalf of them and my partner, Steven Stamp, and everyone involved with the Canadian Lacrosse League, thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We will talk to you tomorrow afternoon.